Hey, hello everybody. So I'm just recapping the lesson, just in case you want to go back over it. But what we did today is we talked about, first of all, in our notebooks, we talked about independent quantities and dependent quantities, okay? So the independent quantity is also called the control variable, okay? It's always on the x-axis, okay? And the dependent depends on the independent. It's called the dependent variable or quantity because it goes on the y-axis. So an example I gave in class is this. If you wanted to take a walk or a drive, you get to decide how long you want to walk. That would be time. You can control how long you walk, but then the distance you walk all depends on how long you walk, right? So if you don't spend some time walking, you won't have any distance. So time is the control variable, almost always is, and distance would be the dependent variable, okay? So then we took a look at our book, and first of all, we did do this evaluate. So if you haven't done the evaluate, you're going to have to do the evaluate, plug 7 in. And then we took a look at this graph, okay? We looked for the highest point. Emma bought a new video game, and then we realized that this would be the highest point on the graph. What does it represent? That on day 3, she spent 4 hours playing that game. Well, then I asked the kids, I said, okay, what does this 7 means? And one of our kids said, well, on day 7, she probably finished the game and she probably beat the game, so that's why she didn't spend any time on it at all. Maybe on day 6 she beat the game, and on 7 she didn't play it at all. Okay. Then we talked about independent and dependent qualities. Okay. So we looked at these scenarios. Which one comes first? Well, you buy movie tickets, then you pay. That's your independent variable, and your cost is dependent on how many tickets you buy. This one, you look at the fridge, however many eggs you have, that's how many cakes you can bake. Eggs are the independent variable, cakes are the dependent. We looked at this one, students. So we have to count how many students we have before we make lunches. Students are the independent variable, and lunches are the dependent because they depend on how many students we have. Hours driving depends on how long we want to drive, but the longer we drive, the more miles we go. So hours driven is the independent, miles is my dependent. We're going to fill up a swimming pool, okay? So we start filling up a swimming pool. So the time that we put water in the pool, then the pool fills up. But if we stop filling the pool, it won't go up, okay? So then again, independent, the quantity that you will need to know first. Dependent is the one affected by the independent, okay? All right, then we looked at our homework, and I'll take a look at the first one, okay? So there's 4 things I had to do. First of all, let's look at this. So we went and we cut out from page 15, we did all these cutouts, okay? So on page 15, we got all these cutouts. You can see what I got all these cutouts from. And then I took my cutouts and I matched. So if you go to page, I think it's page 13, page 13, cut all these out and match them to the graph, okay? So Daredevil, Grayson completes a dive from a cliff. It's a 100-foot cliff above a river. It takes him 1.7 seconds to hit the water, okay? So I found the graph that matches that. That's the first thing I have to do. Then I have to put in what the independent quality. So I need to list. My independent quality is time in seconds. My dependent quality is height above the water. Then I had to scale it, okay? I do know he started at 100, so then obviously you just have to go by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then he hits the water after 1.7 seconds. That's here. So I went and made that 1, 2. This is like 0.2 seconds. Okay. You need to talk about the origin. The origin is right there. The origin is always the point 0, 0. So in this case, the origin represents 0 seconds and 0 feet. Now, your assignment then is to do this for all of these 8 examples, okay? So you do these for all of these 8 examples. All of these 8 examples, make sure you do a really great job with it. And then we'll collect this and look at this on Monday. Okay, that's all I have for you. If you want to watch the video, pause it. Whenever you get stuck, you can.